Just off the coast of Nova Scotia lies a small patch of land called Oak Island, a quiet, wind-swept place that has fueled obsession for more than 200 years. To the casual eye, it's nothing but forest and rock. Yet beneath its soil, generations of treasure hunters have believed something extraordinary is buried. The legend began in 1795, when a teenager named Daniel McGuinness noticed a strange depression in the ground. Nearby, an old oak tree hung over it, a thick branch scarred by the marks of a pulley or rope. Daniel was convinced it was the site of a hidden cache, maybe pirate gold. He returned with two friends and started digging. 10 feet down, they struck a layer of wooden planks. They dug through, then another layer at 20 feet, and another at 30. Each layer sealed tight with clay and logs, as if someone had built a trap to protect whatever lay below. The deeper they went, the more impossible it became to stop. When they reached 90 feet, their shovels hit a final barrier, a flat stone carved with strange symbols no one could read. That night, the pit began to fill with water, rising fast, as though the island itself were defending its secret. The boys fled, believing they'd uncovered a curse. From that moment on, the hunt for the Oak Island treasure would claim fortunes, lives, and sanity. Over the next century, dozens of teams tried and failed. They built dams, pumped out water, drilled shafts, even used dynamite, but every attempt ended in collapse or flooding. In one tragic accident, 5 men died. Locals began to call it the Money Pit, and they whispered that it was cursed by those who built it. What was buried there? Some said Captain Kidd's stolen gold, others believed it held the lost manuscripts of Shakespeare, the Holy Grail, or even the Ark of the Covenant. Every explorer came with hope and left with ruin. As technology advanced, so did the obsession. Metal detectors, sonar, drilling rigs, each promising answers, each finding only fragments, bits of chain, parchment, a tiny scrap of gold. But no treasure, only the endless whisper of the island itself. Keep digging. And so, Oak Island remains a riddle carved into the earth, a place where greed, courage, and mystery intertwine, waiting for the next soul brave enough to dig into its secrets. As the years passed, Oak Island transformed from a quiet patch of earth into one of history's most expensive obsessions. By the mid-1800s, engineers, miners, and fortune seekers from around the world had descended on the island, determined to break its curse. Every attempt ended the same way: flooding. No matter how deep they dug, the water came. It wasn't natural. It was a design. When crews explored the beaches, they made a shocking discovery: 5 artificial flood tunnels, carved directly from the shoreline into the Money Pit, packed with layers of coconut fiber and stone. Someone, centuries earlier, had built an elaborate booby trap system that used the ocean itself as protection. Anytime the diggers reached a certain depth, seawater would rush in through the tunnels, drowning their progress. Who could have constructed something that complex so long ago? The engineering alone seemed impossible for pirates or peasants. The mystery deepened. Then came the Truro Company expedition of 1849. They drilled a narrow shaft beside the pit and recovered bits of gold chain and fragments of parchment, proof that something human and valuable lay below. Excitement exploded across Nova Scotia. Investors poured in money. Newspapers declared the treasure of Oak Island was within reach. But as they drilled deeper, the ground gave way. Shafts collapsed, flooding faster than pumps could handle. Men nearly drowned. The island seemed alive, defending its secret. Over the next 100 years, the search became a generational obsession. In the 1930s, an American named Gilbert Hedden returned with industrial equipment and fresh resolve. He found strange stone markers arranged in geometric patterns, possibly a hidden map leading to the pit. Others discovered tunnels that crossed and twisted beneath the surface like veins in a living thing. Theories multiplied. Some claimed Freemasons had buried sacred relics beneath the island, guarded by coded symbols and traps. Others swore it was the final resting place of Captain Kidd's gold, or even the lost treasure of the Knights Templar, smuggled across the Atlantic to protect it from persecution. Yet despite the machinery, money, and manpower, no one broke through. Every time a team believed they were close, the island retaliated, shafts collapsing, pumps breaking, storms rolling in out of nowhere. 5 men were killed across different expeditions. A legend formed. No one would find the treasure until 7 had died. Still, the promise of fortune was irresistible. With each new discovery, an ancient coin, a carved stone, a mysterious link of chain, hope returned. Oak Island was no longer just a dig site. It had become a living myth, whispering to those who believed they could outsmart the past.
By the 1960s, Oak Island's legend had outgrown Nova Scotia. It was now one of the world's greatest unsolved mysteries, a riddle of gold, death, and obsession. New technology brought new hope. Helicopters, pumps, and heavy machinery replaced shovels and ropes, but the island's defenses were as merciless as ever. In 1965, treasure hunter Robert Restall and his son descended into one of the shafts near the money pit. Without warning, a pocket of gas leaked upward. Within minutes, they were overcome by fumes. When rescuers rushed in, they too collapsed. By the end of that day, 4 men were dead. The curse had claimed more lives, bringing the total to 6. Locals began to whisper, "Only one more must die before the treasure is revealed." For a time, the island grew quiet again, but the mystery refused to fade. In the late 20th century, television and archaeology revived global interest. Satellite images revealed patterns in the soil that seemed too precise to be natural. Geometric alignments, buried tunnels, and possible chambers hundreds of feet below the surface. Then came 2 brothers from Michigan, Rick and Marty Legina. As boys, they'd read about the money pit in a magazine and swore one day they'd solve it. Decades later, they bought a controlling interest in the island and began one of the most extensive searches ever recorded. Their journey became the hit television series The Curse of Oak Island, captivating millions of viewers worldwide. The Lajeunesse brought in geologists, historians, and metal detection experts. What they found reignited everything. Traces of gold and silver deep within the flood system. Old wood beams dated to the 1600s. Coins, iron crosses, and tools from far before the island was settled. And perhaps most intriguing, a lead cross believed to be of Templar origin, buried far below the surface. Each discovery hinted that something immense had once been here, and that its builders had gone to impossible lengths to hide it. Some experts believe Oak Island was a repository for sacred relics, the Holy Grail, the Ark of the Covenant, or the manuscripts of ancient knowledge. Others still cling to the pirate treasure theory, pointing to coded symbols and early maps that trace back to Captain Kidd's voyages. Whatever the truth, the island continues to fight back. Flood tunnels still collapse. Caves flood in minutes. Every time they drill, the ground seems to move as if the treasure itself refuses to be found. But Rick and Marty won't stop. To them, island isn't just about gold. It's about solving one of the oldest mysteries on Earth, a mystery that has waited centuries for someone brave enough to uncover it.
More than 2 centuries have passed since Daniel McGinnis first struck his shovel into the soil of Oak Island. Generations have come and gone, kings have fallen, nations have changed, yet this small patch of land still guards its secret. The world has watched as machines dig deeper, technology advances, and new clues emerge. But the heart of the mystery remains untouched. In recent years, scientists working with the Legina brothers have made discoveries that reignited hope. Deep scans of the ground revealed what looks like a vast network of tunnels carefully engineered with precision beyond their time. At the center lies a massive void, a hidden chamber buried more than 150 feet below. Instruments detect traces of precious metals, hints of gold and silver, and artifacts from the 15th and 16th centuries. Yet, even now, no one has broken through. The deeper they dig, the more dangerous the island becomes. Shafts collapse without warning. Pumps fail. Water surges from unseen tunnels as though the ocean itself rises to protect whatever sleeps beneath. Many believe the island is cursed. Others say it's sacred. Some call it the world's greatest puzzle. But for every skeptic, there's another believer who swears the treasure exists, that something of unimaginable importance lies beneath the roots and rock. The truth may not be gold at all. It could be knowledge, a secret meant to be hidden until humanity was ready. A message carved in earth and time, waiting for the right hands to uncover it. Rick Legina once said, "There's a story here that deserves to be told, even if we never find the treasure." And perhaps that's the real meaning of Oak Island. It isn't about the chest of coins or the glitter of jewels. It's about human curiosity, that unshakable drive to understand what came before us, and the belief that somewhere beneath the surface, answers still exist. At night, when the wind moves through the trees, the island feels alive. The ocean murmurs against the rocks, and for a moment, it's easy to imagine the voices of those who dug before, the ones who dreamed of glory and vanished into the depths. Maybe the treasure will never be found. Maybe it was never gold at all. But the legend of Oak Island endures, a reminder that some mysteries aren't meant to be solved, only remembered. And so the island waits, silent, patient, and eternal, guarding its secret for yet another generation to chase.